Vivek Ramaswamy, Republican candidate for Ohio governor. There's going to be some soaring rhetoric this evening, a lot of great patriotic moments we're all going to witness, from hockey to some of these stories about people having babies and being able to afford a home. AI especially, Vivek. We're hearing that these companies may just build their own electrical plants. That's going to save Americans a fortune.
So, look, I think it's a great opportunity, Jesse. First of all, before looking to the future, just to celebrate the victories that got us here in that first year of the Trump presidency. We sealed that southern border. And also, if you look at where we were internationally, there were wars in the Middle East. There was chaos elsewhere in the world. Now the Israel peace settlement. You've got a great place that was unimaginable just a couple of years ago. With those accomplishments under our belt, now we can focus on the future. Focus on the future of bringing down those costs of livings, bring down costs, increase paychecks, deliver better education throughout the country. And I do think that forward-looking vision that integrates the power of future technology, even AI, but doing it in a way that they're paying for their own energy rather than externalizing that to everyday electricity bills of consumers, that I think is the kind of forward-looking economic vision that combines with the accomplishments of sealing that southern border and securing international peace abroad. And I think if President Trump is able to draw that link between the accomplishments he's already delivered, the early economic progress we're making, and the forward economic progress we can expect, I think it's going to be a very successful speech tonight. That's what I'm hoping for, and that is what I expect from President Trump.
Yeah, because you have to tell a story. Where we've been. It's been 4 years of Bidenomics. The country's traumatized, and prices have come down, but they're still very high from what Joe Biden left this president with. And you're going into a midterm, and the Democrats are complaining about affordability. And how's the president have to frame that choice? Because it has to be a choice.
Look, at the end of the day, the choice is the 4 years under Biden. That's when we saw record high inflation. We saw costs going up, wages going down. That isn't going to be turned around overnight, but the trends are in the other direction. Look at gas prices now versus what they were under President Biden. Costs are gradually, in so many sectors of the economy, coming down. We want that to spread to other sectors of the economy as well, undoing the damage from the Biden years, but also pursuing economic growth. Because half the battle of addressing this affordability issue is putting money back in people's pockets. Think about the Trump tax cuts. How much money, including in refunds, are flowing straight back to Americans' pockets? Think about the Trump accounts, using the power of compounding and equity compound interest to be able to say every kid born in this country is on track to generating wealth starting at a young age. That, too, is part of tackling affordability. Not just undoing the Biden damage of inflation and bringing down cost, but also increasing and creating new wealth for Americans. And that's the cultural shift we're seeing, Jesse. You talk about telling a story. It's not just the last 2 years. It's the last 250 years that we celebrate this year, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That was a celebration of the pursuit of American excellence. And I think in this year, that 250th anniversary of that great Declaration of Independence, I believe the greatest mission statement ever written for a nation in the history of mankind. That is what we celebrate now. So the story of the last 2 years has been the story of our entire history as a country, that we celebrate pursuing growth, pursuing excellence, not restricting ourselves, but making sure that everyone in America participates in that growth, whether they are Republican or Democrat. Those policies that are bringing down costs, increasing paychecks, improving our schools, and having sealed that southern border, those serve not just the people who voted for President Trump, but even for those Democrats who did not. And I think President Trump deserves to be able to deliver that message clearly. I hope he does that tonight so that people across this country, from my home state of Ohio to coast, understand this is a president who has come back to deliver for them, for us, in celebrating this country, the greatest country known to the history of man, being led by a commander-in-chief who actually believes in that country. That's what I want to see come across tonight.
Very well said, Vivek, because he ran on restoring the American dream, that the Biden-Harris administration crushed it, and he was going to come back and deliver it once again. And if he can inspire that hope and that patriotism to be able to deliver